Okay, guys, what is up, everybody? This is Recap Rewind Roundtable. I'm JLAG.
And I'm NB.
And we are recapping and reviewing the mid-season finale episode of Riverdale, titled Chapter 43, Outbreak. And don't forget to stick around to the end, and where we'll be going through our recap roundups. And make sure that you guys have yours ready to talk to about too. So just make sure that if you are connected, just message us and we will get to your notes.
Yeah, I'm trying to like half talk to JLAG and then half message everyone in the chat group. So yeah, be sure to comment, guys, below throughout our podcast, because this is live. This is like live. Real life. This is like me and JLAG right now talking about Riverdale.
Yeah. So if you guys are joining us for the very first time, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And for our returning listeners, thanks for coming through. Let's get into the episode.
Let's get into it.
Before we get into it, let's talk about the agenda. We'll do the introduction. So we already did that. We're going to go through the pre-cap, which is the overall thoughts, the key points of the episode. And then we're going to do recap roundups, announcements, and that shit. Now we can do the overall thoughts.
Yeah. So what did you think of the episode?
I thought it was good. I really enjoyed it. I think that for a mid-season finale, we got just enough information, but yeah, it was a lot. There's a lot of lead up, not a lot of answers. I don't know how you felt about it. What did you think about the episode?
I mean, we got like a few answers, but I felt like I don't really care. Like Betty and Ethel, like, did I really care? Not really. I mean,
yeah.
And I think like it was funny because in the end it was like the biggest like thing was like, oh my God, Hiram's trying to buy out Riverdale. Like he's trying to buy everything out. And I was like, but wasn't he already trying to do that from time?
Exactly.
Like did you guys not think that he would do anything to own Riverdale? Like that wasn't really surprising to me.
Right. So,
it was just like, okay, I guess.
I really, like, they keep saying, yeah, like, all I want is like a kingdom. So yeah, you got your damn kingdom like a million times over.
Like everything he's been saying since like season 2 was like, I'm gonna rule this entire town. Like,
I'm gonna rule the school. I don't know what his end game is, and it's just, that's what I mean. I feel like it was a good episode, but I really feel like as an overall like Riverdale storyline, like I don't know where this is all going. I don't know if you guys felt the same way in the messages. Just like message us and let us know what you guys thought about the episode. But we're gonna forge
Let's move into it. Yeah, for sure.
And talk about the first key point. So the first one I wanted to talk about was Kevin, only because he has basically no lines this entire episode, and he has a really quick moment in the very beginning of the episode where all the vixens are coming down the hallway and they're all like looking cute and shit. There's a really quick moment that we get with like Coos. I don't even know if I can call them Coos anymore because I don't ship them at all. But they like go into like a dark room, and Moose is like, let's do drugs, and Kevin's like, let's just make out. And I'm like, since when did these guys become like lame drug abusing gays? Like, come on, guys, really? Like, that's what you guys are writing these guys to be? And I don't know what the point of it all is, really.
I mean, we've been asking that same question since the beginning of the season, where they kind of just haven't grown at all, really. They really haven't. Like, nothing has changed in their relationship. They're not Facebook official. Like, they haven't progressed.
Yeah,
and it's just not impressive. I'm just not impressed by the whole Coos situation.
Yeah, and also, like I said, Kevin, we'll talk about him very briefly a little bit later on, but he was essentially a useless tool this entire episode. I don't know if he was on drugs or if he wasn't. Like, it's very unclear, and it wasn't explained at all. And I just feel like, what's the point of putting these characters into the story if you're not going to get them to be explained a little bit more?
Sure.
Just keep them out. I don't know. I just thought it was extra. So everyone's glitching out.
We saw that in the promo where like everyone's like on the floor. They're glitching out. Mostly, I think it was Veronica and Toni. So, okay, my question to you, though, is why do you think Cheryl wasn't included in all of this?
Wasn't involved. Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping that this is all going to be explained. And I don't know what you guys thought about this whole situation, but I really thought that there wasn't enough clarity, even by the end of this episode, why all the girls outside of Sisters of Quiet Mercy were getting the seizures. And this whole thing about having a patient zero, and the patient zero is technically Betty because she was the first one to get the seizure, but I don't know what that means. Like, is she in contact with them? Like, what was she doing with like Toni that she wasn't doing with Cheryl? So I'm not really sure like where the connection is. I'm very, very confused as to where they're gonna go with this. Yeah. So yeah, everybody in the comments are even saying like everybody got like affected except for Cheryl. Cheryl literally turns around, her entire squad's on the floor, like, dying. So I'm not really sure what that whole situation was all about.
And yeah, and even Sammy H in the chat, she's saying like, did anyone even notice that Evelyn wasn't there? Yeah. And that's so true. I didn't even book that because she's been there for every single time I think that someone's had it, right?
Exactly. She's always been like lurking in the corner. So I'm not really sure what her situation is. I don't know whether they're going to pull her back in. We've said this before in podcasts in the past where it's just like we don't know if there is a connection between the farm and her and the seizures, but it seems like they were trying last episode and now like again, she's gone. So I'm not sure if they're trying to connect them or not.
And like a good point, Sierra Brown in the chat as well. She's saying, I think Penelope has something to do with the seizures because Cheryl didn't have one. So that could be another connection too.
True. But then why Veronica? Like,
yeah, I don't know.
It's very sketchy right now.
Her own daughter, but does she even love her daughter? Like she literally hates Cheryl. So I don't know.
Exactly. I don't know what the situation is. So yeah, the next thing that we want to talk about, just to cover it off because it happens and then it kind of goes away for the rest of the episode, is we get a Shoni moment finally after episodes and episodes.
Yeah, and I honestly like I love this moment so much. It was so cute. And it was such a real raw moment between the two of them. And I felt like we needed more of this though.
Yeah, it was very brief and it kind of felt out of place. Like, it's not that I didn't hate the fact that it was there, but I really think that it didn't make sense for them to be talking about this in this moment because yeah, she was sick and stuff. But even her saying like, oh, do you want to move in? Like, girl, you've had an empty house for the past summer.
It's been like half a year.
Like, how are you gonna ask her to move in with you now? Like, she's been like what, sleeping on the freaking like couch for the past like little bit of time. Like,
honestly.
So anyway, she's like, now you can sleep in my house because you're sick or whatever. And then she was like, as long as I got to be the big spoon. I'm like, I don't know what that means, but okay, sure. Like, yeah, like people are saying, like, I thought that Shoni already moved in. I thought they were already a thing. So yeah,
you know what? It honestly almost felt like if you hadn't seen this episode, you could have placed their scene at any point throughout the season.
Yeah,
like it almost felt like that. Other than the fact that she was sick, it was just like a cute like Shoni moment.
Yeah, but at the same time,
we wanted before.
Yeah, exactly. Like 3 episodes ago, where they were like in the tent and we didn't even get to see that moment. So I think that. Sure, I'll take it. Like, fine.
Whatever.
I'm sure all the Shoni chippers are like to see them happy together. It was a cute moment. They got to like roll around the bed for a second. Like, sure.
Yeah.
Do it. Like, maybe we'll get a like housewarming party for them or something.
Ooh, that'll be fun.
Next half of the season. So yeah, the next thing that I wanted to talk about was after the whole seizure situation, Veronica wakes up back at the Pembroke and she kind of she doesn't overhear them, but we overhear them as the audience. Hermione and Hiram are like yelling at each other, and one thing that I noticed, I had to write it down because I thought it was really important to note, is it's Hermione yelling at Hiram and she says, you said that if I agree, no one would get hurt, especially Veronica. I believed you, Hiram. I supported you, and you swore to me that this wouldn't happen. And he says it was just a miscalculation.
Right.
So we all assume that this is all alluding to the seizures that just took place, right?
Yeah.
Which is what my assumption was.
Yeah, I definitely think it sounds like that. And it definitely, like, I feel like this is Hermione's like line. Like, she's like, I believed you, Hiram. I trusted you that everything would be right. And then you like fucked our whole family over like multiple times.
Not even after over, he's literally putting his own daughter in danger.
Yeah.
You know? If that the situation, like, forget like the fact that he screws over Hermione left, right, and center. Like, your daughter had a seizure, and if you were involved in that, you are a diabolical man. Like, who can come back from that, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. And I wish the mid-season finale kind of explained that a little bit more as to like what the F went down in that gym. Like, what is going on? Yeah.
And a lot of people saying, there's somebody in the chat that says Hermione's the most confusing character on the show. I do not know what side she's on.
Totally.
I agree.
Yeah. I think everyone wants her to win. I think everyone wants her to have like this one up against Hiram.
Yeah.
And they sort of like give it to her in one moment and then they take it away from her like in really big like portions, and I'm like, I don't know, is she smart or is she really just dumb? Like, I don't know what to think.
I have no idea. Yeah, it's very confusing. I don't know if she's like playing the long game with him, if she really is trying to just be a supportive wife. Like, I'm not really sure what the whole situation is, but yeah, she's pretty weak again in this moment. Veronica wakes up and she's like, what the F is going on? And they want to ship her off. I thought she moved
out. Like, what happened? She's like, right back.
That's like they basically like sent her back home because she was like sick or whatever. So yeah, I don't know what the whole situation is at, and I don't know what their end game is either. So if they are involved in this whole seizure situation, we can talk about it a little bit later, but I don't know what their end game is. Like, why are they even involved in this whole situation?
Yeah.
So the next moment that I wanted to talk about real quick, Veggie has their first moment of the episode, but it ain't the last one because Reggie's kind of become the de facto, like, kind of, I don't want to call him a bitch boy. He's like the boyfriend now, right?
He's
like,
literally like the boyfriend, but not the boyfriend. Like,
yeah,
he's just so effing hot. I don't know what else to say about him. I love how quiet he is, but like, I feel like he's getting ish done for Veronica.
Right.
And like, currently he's not getting anything out of it. It's not like they're like hooking up or anything. He's just like, he just wants to help her out, and he's just curious.
Yeah. I don't know. I just feel like he's totally just into her though at the same time. Like, I think because like, why else would he be around if he
for sure,
like feeling some type of way?
I just feel like he doesn't know that he's into her yet. You know what I mean?
Oh, he's just like,
he's like, yo, like, what am I feeling right now? Kind of thing. I feel like,
yeah.
Because also it's his boy's girl, right? Like, it's Archie's girlfriend still, or like ex-girlfriend, whatever.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
like,
but do you think that he really feels some type of way about that? Like, is he really like, no, like,
no, I'm sure he's gonna say
like,
no. I'm sure he's gonna say something like, dude, like, that was your girl. Like, I didn't want to, like, whatever, you know?
Right. I don't know. I'm down to see like how that all kind of like figures itself out later. People are saying, yeah, in the chat, like, Reggie's grown on me. I love how he's really supportive.
But do you see, JLAG, how, sorry to interrupt you, but do you see how much of a shift he's had in one half of a season?
Yeah.
And Kevin has had almost three full seasons, and he hasn't grown at all.
Exactly.
This is what infuriates me. It's like, you could do this to a character where they turn around and all of a sudden, like, everyone loves Reggie. Everyone's like, oh my God, he's amazing. He's coming through.
Yeah, I totally ship Veggie. Totally into it. I'm so down for them, like, in real life and on screen. Like,
yeah,
you can definitely tell that there's chemistry between
the two of them. For sure.
The next thing I wanted to talk about, and I wanted to try to do like the part one of this whole situation at the same time, even though it happens in different parts of the episode, but I wanted to talk about the introduction of our girl Gladys Jones, I guess she's still called Jones, and Jellybean.
Yeah.
So the first time we ever meet Gladys, it was probably one of my favorite moments of the entire episode when she thinks that Jughead, Jughead and Archie are a couple. Yeah. I couldn't stop laughing.
What did she say exactly? What did she say?
She's like, oh, like, she's like, I don't remember exactly what she says, but she says something along the lines of like, she's like, oh, you guys finally like did it. You guys like got together. And they're like, no. Like, this is just a bromance. But yeah, it was such a funny moment because we even had one of our commenters on one of our videos just recently say, like, does anybody else like ship Archie? And I was like, I don't think anybody else does except
like, I love how even Archie was like, no, we're just like that bromance kind of thing, you know? Like, no, it ain't like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's very much like, no homo at all.
Yeah.
But what did you think of our girl,
honestly,
our mommy?
Gina Gershon, or however you say her last name.
Yeah.
I effing loved her. Like, she was so good, and I don't know why, it just felt so different from all the other parents. I felt like she came in so strong. She played this like kind of sassy mom, but also this really like loving and warm mom too to Jughead, and she was so cute. Like, she hugged him and like kissed him, and then she kissed FP like later on. Like, she was really warm too. And I guess I was kind of expecting not to like her because she basically ditched her son, but I really liked her.
I mean, she does kind of allude to it this episode, and I was glad that they talked about it because I wanted to bring it up too. Why, the last time he wanted to come to Toledo, she basically said he can't come.
Literally, she's like, do not come.
And he had like one of the biggest breakdown moments in that telephone booth, like, of all time.
Yeah, it was so epic.
So I just think it's She does say, she's like, she was like, that was then, this is now, and I'm like, you can't just fix it by saying it's like in the
girl
past.
That was like last year, like calm down. Like how much changed in a year?
Literally, what she's like, now I have my GED, so I guess a lot changes.
Yeah,
like, she's got an education.
She's educated now.
Yeah, so yeah, I think I liked her as a character. I'm really interested to see if they put her in a little bit more. Is she going to be more full-time? Would you be down for that?
Yeah, I'm totally down for her. I want to see her more. In our notes, I even wrote down that I kind of liked her more than FP because I felt like I was buying her role more than I was buying FP being his dad. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like I just felt like she cared about him so much. I don't know. It was just different. I don't know.
Here's the thing. I always feel like a woman's touch, a mother's touch is always very different from the man's touch. Like FP clearly, like we saw it even in the freaking flashback episode, he was not built to be a father of any sort. He does not know how to do
like
what he needs to do.
He handcuffed his son like last week.
Like just last week, he handcuffed his son to a fridge and thought that was the best thing to do. So yeah, definitely she doesn't have that kind of hand with him. I hope that she tries to make amends as the season goes on, and maybe we will see her. I think we do see her in the next promo, so hopefully she'll stick around for at least a couple more episodes before she takes forever again.
Yeah, or they'll have her kind of like a Mary Andrews, where like she's kind of in and out. Yeah. But I think the biggest role I think she's gonna play is really changing Jughead. I feel like him kind of, meeting up with her again and now having these like really like adult conversations with her. Right. I feel like it's going to change him as a person,
Right. I agree. What did you think of our girl Jellybean?
She was so cute. She was freaking sassy.
Yeah.
I just love how she was like to Archie. She's like, yeah. Like, she's like, how old are you? I'm like, you're 7, bro.
She literally lurked right in on Archie. I mean, who wouldn't because of those abs? But she was totally thirsty for him in that moment. And I was like, girl, calm down. You're like 10 years old.
I love that like Archie left Riverdale and he's still getting like all this action from like all the girls.
Every girl is coming for his D.
Like even Jughead's mom for a sec, I was like, yo, is she gonna like take off his shirt now? Like even she was like, oh, she's like, you got muscles.
She's like, oh, you grew up, boy.
Yeah.
Like, she was so into it.
It was so funny.
So yeah, we can kind of talk a little bit more about this part of the story. So they kind of chill out for the whole time that they're there in Toledo because they finally got to their destination. And the mom you kind of get that information, but we get someone who shows up, and this is a picture, obviously, of Jellybean doing this to this girl. Freaking Penny Peabody shows up out of freaking nowhere. What did you think of her just showing up in the first?
Honestly, I didn't, because remember in the promo we said we're like, oh, like she's there, so we kind of knew it was gonna happen, but I didn't understand it. Like I didn't realize that like Penny was like working overtime and like chasing Archie down.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know she was trying that hard to get him.
Like, I mean, I guess like there is a bounty on his head, and she literally explains it in like a full sentence. She's like, there's a bounty on your head and you left a lot of a lot of crumbs when I found you. And I'm like, Hiram Lodge could not find him. How did you find him? Like,
sorry, when you say there was a bounty on his head, who was it from? Like Hiram?
From Hiram, probably.
What was he saying? That there's like money involved?
I don't know if there's money involved, but she's a part of his crew, right? So he's probably like, go find him for me.
Okay.
And like, he probably did offer her money or something. He always offers something. So that whole situation kind of goes down at the junkyard. She gets kidnapped or not kidnapped, but she gets taken down by Jellybean. It was a pretty funny moment because she like literally like knocks her out with a slingshot. And the thing that I like died at too is like Archie honestly is getting saved by a 13-year-old girl. Like, he is so useless in every moment possible. I was so disappointed in him once again. I mean, at this point, why should I even care? Yeah, anyway, so the mom takes over, and like Gladys takes over, and she proceeds to kind of torture her to ask her a bunch of questions about Hiram and about the Gargoyle King and G and all that stuff, all the information that she needs to know. But while she's saying this, Penny essentially says like, you guys are fucked. Like Hiram's never going to stop trying to get you, Archie. So like, watch your back or whatever. The one thing that we don't really get a resolve on is whether or not she's dead. Do you guys think that she died? Do you think that she died?
Look, until someone's dead ass on screen, and even then,
true,
I don't believe it.
Rage.
But
Yeah.
my only thing is like, who the F cares about Penny Peabody? Can we just get rid of her? Like, do you
That's
think
fair. I mean, yeah, I totally agree with you. I think that if she's dead, she's dead. Like, what are you gonna do about it? Because I didn't really care about her from the get-go.
Exactly.
So yeah, if you're gonna just throw her into this episode for her to die, like fine. But also I guess it does kind of show how ruthless Gladys could be, which you know, even FP couldn't kill her. So I think that there is something that speaks to that as well. Like maybe it's like the wrath of a mother versus like the wrath of him, because like there was some situation there. I don't know. Like I said, do not care. Did anybody care in the comments? Everybody's like, I don't care.
I think Dat Foxy said that they think she's dead.
She did.
She did.
Sierra says, I think that Gladys killed her. She had so much blood on her hands.
True.
She did. She had so much blood.
Like, holy shit, that's a lot of blood to just like carve someone's skin, I guess.
She's like, I wouldn't know. She's like, hold on 1 second. Let me clean this blood off my hands. It was like a good 2 seconds of her just cleaning blood off her hands. It was so extra. We'll get back to the junkyard a little bit later, but we're going to move on to our favorite couple of the year. Not couple, but our favorite pairing, in my opinion. Veronica and Cheryl kind of take on Riverdale this episode.
Yeah, and I think it kind of just happens because there's no one else left, really.
Yeah.
Like Betty's gone,
like,
right?
She's MIA.
All the girls are gone. So it's kind of just like Velo and Cheryl kind of left to figure out what the F is going on and like why everyone's having a seizure.
What did you think of this duo? Because I don't think we've seen this duo just yet, right?
I think we've seen like her and Toni and Veronica.
Right, but we've never seen them just like together, like the two of them.
Yeah.
What did you think?
No, I love them together. I think they're both such strong like females on screen. And you can just see it. You know what I mean? Like I almost feel like Cammy has to step back a little bit to let like her go front because like they're both so lit.
Yeah.
Their lines are very like over the top.
Right, that's true. That's true. They're both like very intelligent people and they always like have sassy lines written for them. So yeah, they take on the parents during the parent conference or whatever. Not conference. It was like a very short meeting. And the one thing before I get to that point is I don't understand why only 8 of the parents were representing all of the school.
Literally. And 2 of them were like Veronica's parents. like half the room was Veronica's family.
You're telling me they had a private meeting with the principal and all of the other parents whose like kids actually had seizures, they're like just
where are they? Yeah,
they're just gone. Like those people had no parents. Like I don't get it.
Yeah.
So Hermione's like, no, we gotta shut this school down. And like the first thing that came to my mind is like, yeah, go ahead, because clearly no one even goes to school.
I died anyway. When I saw your note. I was dying. I'm like, it's so true. Like we haven't had a school scene for time. So what does it even matter?
Like fine, shut it down. Clearly nobody gives a shit. Everybody's out of school anyway. Yeah, even Cheryl kind of goes in and she was like, we want answers. Like, my vixens are gone. Where did they go? Where did you guys take them?
Like, I want answers too. I want to know where the pussycats went. Like, can someone answer that for me? Like, I don't care about the vixens. I don't even know the vixens' names. I want to know where Val and Melody went. Like,
literally everybody's gone.
Can we figure that out first?
But the thing that killed me dead too was like Reggie gave her information specifically saying that like the fizzle rocks are coming out of the prison and this and this. Like he gave her so much ammo, and then by the very end of it she's like, yeah, and you guys are making fizzle rocks, and like everyone starts laughing at her and then she just drops it. I'm like, but it's facts. Like you literally found these facts, you investigated, and you let them like laugh you off the stage. Like I don't understand that whole situation. But then at the same time, I guess there is the fact that she has a fake seizure. Like Penelope literally stands up, she's like,
she's like, and her face was like, okay, I guess I gotta do this now. She's like, ugh. But it's just funny, like Alice was killing me because Alice is sort of sitting in between like Veronica standing and then like Hiram on the other side of the desk. So Alice is like in the middle sitting and she's just like, huh? She's just like looking back and forth. Like she has no idea what's going on.
Right.
And it's so surprising for Alice because I feel like she's always the first one to know what's going on, or like she's kind of always in the drama.
Right.
But this time she was just like, I have no idea what's going on. I don't know who to believe.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess we can talk about Alice a little bit later as well, but I felt like she was a pretty useless character this episode.
She was, totally.
She didn't do anything. She was very, very passive. I was a little disappointed that she did literally nothing.
Yeah.
But it was really funny when she had the fake seizure, literally Cheryl like flipped her hair and like rolled her eyes. She was like, honestly,
she's like, bitch, bye. I know
like,
you. You're my
get
mom.
out of here.
Yeah.
So I wrote down like, what do you guys think the parents are up to? But I guess it's not really just the parents. It's mostly Hiram and Penelope and anybody else that's in like that evil crew.
So what Veronica was trying to say in that moment too, she goes like, you're trying to sell the land under the school? Like, is that what he was trying to do?
No, well, he was gonna do exactly what she was worried that he's gonna do exactly what he did to Southside High, which was kind of quarantine the area and then I guess turn it into another property that he can use because they shut down Southside High the same way, right? Because it was like deemed unfit to like be a school.
Yeah.
So I don't know what they're doing, and I honestly I don't know why you guys they think that like not having kids in school is a good idea. Like these kids need an education, so like they're literally shutting down every school in the district, in the county, in this damn city, and I don't know where these kids are going to be going. They're all going to go to Greendale, like to go to school now. Like it's crazy.
My question, I think, just to the writers in general, actually, is like,
dear writers,
if the Hiram's trying to buy out the town, right? Like he's trying to buy out Riverdale, he's trying to buy all this property. Like, ain't nobody knows where Riverdale is. Like, we know that the land probably there is like $2 to buy like an acre. Like, how expensive is the land? Like, why is it so hard to buy the land? Like, doesn't he have money? Can't he just buy it all? It's not like he's buying like land in New York City.
It's totally true, but I think she makes that point a little bit later. She says that, you know, he doesn't really have much outside of Riverdale anyway. So once he gets all this land, I like I said, don't know what his end game is, don't know like why he needs to do what he needs to do, but he's out here doing something. So I guess we'll see how it all kind of rolls out later on. So this situation happens, but it is very much like a Veronica Cheryl situation. They keep their investigation going as the episode goes on. So after this happens, I wanted to talk really quickly. This happens a little bit like way later in the episode, but they get the ROTC involved, and like I said, once again, don't understand why they were involved in this whole situation at all.
You know what? I feel like I have to blame myself for this because every single time I get excited, I'm like, oh my God, Kevin, he's gonna come through. Like it's happened, I think, every single episode this season. I'm like, yes, this is Kevin's moment. He's gonna do something. And then nothing happens.
And then no.
Like, how am I this dumb? Like, how do I keep thinking that he's gonna come through and then he doesn't?
He's very disappointing this episode. Absolutely.
Yeah, like what happened when they went to ask for help?
Nothing. Literally nothing.
What is that about?
Literally nothing happened. I don't understand why they were even involved. We'll talk about it at the end of the episode, but this all leads to a nothing situation. Like it was so pointless.
Yeah.
Okay, so moving on to a little moment with Betty. So she finally gets a phone call from Veronica. Veronica gets a phone call from Betty, and she's like, "Oh, hey, girl, like, where have you been?" And she's like, "I thought you were at the farm." She's like, "No, I've literally been locked up at Sisters of Quiet Mercy. Like, you gotta help a sister out here."
What did you think of that?
I don't know. I just feel like you would have kind of texted your friend at some point in time to check in with her to see if she was okay.
Or like, you guys know there's like one sketchy place in this town. Let me go check to see if my friend's missing there. How about that?
Yeah.
They just like forgot about her.
I don't understand why they never had a connection throughout the entire episode except for this moment. And then she, like, it's not that I wanted another rescue mission either, because obviously we have already seen that with Cheryl. She was like, because even Cheryl, she's like, oh God, we got to break her out. And I'm like, okay, I don't know if I want to see her break them out, but I just didn't know how they were going to connect it all. And I guess they kind of did, but it also didn't really make sense because it kind of led to a really random sequence with Penelope, which is the next thing that I want to talk about. Like, they randomly just interrogate her. What did you think of this situation?
I don't know. Again, like you see this moment in the promo, right? And so we're like, what the F are they doing to her? But I don't know. Like, I don't know. I don't know if Penelope knows the whole like plan. Is she behind it all? Is Hiram just using her? Is she just like a pawn? Like, I don't know. I can never read Penelope because I feel like she does things that are like evil, but then like I don't know. Like she's nice sometimes too. I don't know.
I don't know what her character is anymore. I just feel like she wanted to open up a brothel. Hiram didn't give her a brothel, so she's just kind of sitting in this like middle ground.
Did she not get the brothel?
Well, she's not doing anything. Like, I don't know what she's doing right now with her life. Like, that's the thing. They had this whole evil plan in the beginning of the season or at the end of last season, and now it's kind of just like flattened out into nothing. And they're all kind of a part of this evil plan for no reason. Like, what is Penelope even getting out of this if she's not getting?
I don't know.
And like her like brothel out of this whole situation.
And I almost feel like Claudius might be involved more than they're actually showing him, because he hasn't been in the episodes, but I feel like he's up to something too.
But would you be okay with that? Him kind of coming in?
No, like, I'm not okay with any of this. This doesn't make sense.
I don't get it. Yeah, everybody's saying this scene was so weird. It didn't make any sense why they had to torture her in the, like, they did it even in the middle of the living room. I'm like, you guys have nice rugs and like there's a fireplace on the side. Could you not do this in like the creepy dark like shed or something? Like she was literally in the middle of the room and on a really nice chair too. Like I don't understand how this even came about, but yeah, they basically waterboarded her with maple syrup.
Exactly.
And it was just very random. Yeah. And yeah, so they don't really get much information out of her, but without her just basically saying that I work for Hiram and he's got this new order coming through and like I'm gonna be here for it. Like I'm gonna be here for this like new world. So
right.
Like better be ready or whatever.
Right.
But yeah, outside of that, there's not really much else that comes out of her mouth except for like maple syrup. So like such a random scene. Yeah, she really liked it.
She really liked it.
That was so gross. The next thing, so I'm moving on and then we'll circle back, but I'm moving on to talk about Ethel and Betty's best friends forever friendship this episode. What did you think of this?
I want to hear your thing on this so hard because, like, okay, Ethel. Okay, guys, legit. Like, we thought Ethel was gonna die. We thought someone was gonna die this episode for sure.
Like, first and foremost, I want to say that RAS fully like lied to us this whole time, saying that one of the season cast members, or he said in a tweet and something and made it all misconstrued, and I expected someone to die this episode and nobody died. Not that I was not sad about it, obviously I was happy that everybody's still alive, but also he kind of set it up low-key and we like literally made a video top 5.
Yeah, we literally made an entire video on who was gonna die and nobody died.
Nobody freaking died. But so I was kind of
Tammy's like, you guys made an entire video. She's like, nothing happened. Girl
robbed.
Or boy bye. I don't know if it's a girl or guy.
So
okay, but I want to know what you think. Like, what do you think about Ethel kind of just coming back?
You know what? How I feel about Ethel in the first place. I thought she was like a gone girl. There was no coming back for her, but they literally did like a 180, like the best way they could. And I was pretty impressed because I really thought she was a write-off. I thought she was done, like done. And they like spun her around. And I'm gonna buy it. I'll run with it. I can run with it. Only because, yes, there's a lot of plot holes in the reasons why she kind of recovers from this whole situation. So what happens, as you guys know, she gets thrown into the room and then she sobers up, and then Betty kind of gets her when she's sober and she realizes that the whole Gargoyle King situation is a lie. But we have to remember that before she came to Sisters of Quiet Mercy, she was fucking crazy. So like it all didn't start with her having the fizzle rocks. It all didn't start with her at Sisters of Quiet Mercy. So I don't know what we should have gotten out of that situation, really.
Yeah, I mean, like unlike you, I know you're trying to buy it, but like I just
I'm not gonna run with that shit.
And I maybe could have bought it if they spent more time on it, but she literally just put her in a room for like 5 minutes. She's like, "Yo, wake up right now! Like you're not like high anymore." And she's like, "Oh my god, I'm crazy! Like what was I doing here this whole time?" True. I just didn't buy the timing of it, but whatever, guys. I'm buying so much this season, like I can't.
You're like, I already bought the subscription for the year, so we're stuck here dealing with this crazy ish. So yeah, I guess I'm okay with Ethel just being like alive, because I don't know if I would have been like sad if she died, but also like very confused why she died, or like I don't know if I would have felt anything at all, to be honest.
Yeah, I know, right? There was a part where I thought they could kill her off, but then I was like, it's not going to really happen. And I guess Betty couldn't have done it on her own, so it was a good kind of partnership between the two of them.
Totally. Yeah, I feel like, and it was cool because I think at the end of the day, we remember that Betty is very much a forgiving character. She's not like a ruthless biatch. Like, you know, even Ethel kind of portrays her that way, that she's like this judgmental bitch, but she comes around, she does turn around, and she realizes that she just wants to help everybody else out too, you know. She wants to make sure that Ethel isn't gonna be like screwed over in the end too, right?
Yeah, it's true.
So the next thing that kind of happens in their storyline is they try to break out of Sisters of Quiet Mercy. They do a quick interrogation with the main lady, and they put her into a chair, and they're like, girl, like, get your ish together, like, what's the whole story? And the one thing that I took away from that question was that we find out that G&G, the game, kind of started and originated from Sisters of Quiet Mercy. What did you think of that whole like side situation?
I mean, I don't know, but what does that all mean though?
I mean,
like, what does that mean for the whole?
The one thing that I will say that was taken away from that was she says that the game was made out of madness, and it wasn't supposed to like go past the walls of of Sisters of Quiet Mercy. So, you know, these guys going crazy and falling under control over this person, you have to kind of question who did it, how did they get in there, and was it the person that created the game? So like there's a lot of questions that are still were left unanswered by the end of this episode, where it's like, was it someone outside? Like, was there someone in that like was from Sisters of Quiet Mercy that came out and like started this game and like made it go crazy and viral and stuff? And is that the Gargoyle King? Like, we don't really know if there's any connection there.
So someone in the chat group saying, Sierra Brown says the kid created the game from Sisters of Quiet Mercy. Then the sisters use it as a therapeutic / torture tool.
Right. Yes. But she also does say that it wasn't supposed to like get past the actual institution. Anyway, that's what they get from her. They take her keys and they're like, let's fuck off, like, we're leaving now. But one of the things that Sierra Burgess says, I'm gonna call her Sierra Burgess because like she's basically the same person. She's like, no, but these crazy girls are not gonna want to leave because they're so stuck with this whole Gargoyle King storyline. So they decide that what they want to do is create like this next level fake like quest. But the question that I had was like, is it a good idea to get these girls on in the first place?
That's what I'm saying. Like, they're not mentally stable. And then B, you're also like basically coercing them to play another next level of this game.
Yeah.
To get them out into the real world.
Exactly.
It's a good idea.
Like, what was
they know what they're doing?
What was your end game in this whole situation? So yeah, she dresses up as a Gargoyle Queen, and she's like, the king is dead.
Like, yes, look at my mop-like wings.
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
Like, what tree was that from? And she's basically like, I'm the Gargoyle Queen, we're gonna get out. It was kind of a cute moment because I like love Betty, and I think that she's just trying to get people to get moving, but it was just a weird situation. And seeing this picture again is kind of killing me.
I will say the Ethel and Betty scene from like this episode and even last, I was dying of laughter. Like, their dynamic together and just the whole thing with Jughead, I've never laughed so hard at Riverdale, like watching Riverdale, so I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it.
It was good.
Yeah.
So yeah, they do ask like, what's gonna happen to these girls, because they literally start roaming the city of Riverdale. Like, they just walk around and like, and this is the part where Alice shows up and she was like, hey girls, like, how's it going? She's like, what's going on? She's like, why are you wearing that cape? Like, here. But I didn't understand, like, for one, why Alice just randomly showed up in that moment, and number two, like freaking Betty turns around, she's like, it's not just gonna be me, it's gonna be all these girls. I'm like, but what are you guys gonna do? You guys gonna open up an orphanage? Like, I don't understand what's gonna happen next episode.
I don't know.
Like, what is she expecting her mom to do to these girls? Like, you let all these crazy girls out and they have no family.
But like, don't they have homes? Like, they came from somewhere, no?
That's what I thought. I really don't
Weren't they all in high school together?
It doesn't make any sense. Like, yeah, I assumed that they all kind of like were from the same high school. They're all the same age, but I don't
Yeah,
know why.
and I totally agree with like Failwell. He's saying like Alice is completely out for lunch. Like it's true. Like she's just been like in La
Yeah.
La Land, and then she shows up. The last she's like, "Girl, you're looking crazy." Cause like, what are you doing? Go get
Yeah.
your daughter and go home. I guess that's what she was doing, but whatever.
Especially
Like
for
she's too
someone who
late.
was so like she was such a smart, sharp woman in the first couple
Yeah.
seasons. She like totally lost her marbles this season, and I don't want to just blame the fact that she's at the farm. Like I think she's just being poorly written, and I just think there's no excuse for her to be this absent-minded and this kind of like
Up in the air.
yeah, up in the air. Like she literally sent her daughter to this place that basically converts gay kids. Like it's just not doesn't make any sense to me. She would never as a mother do this and be like sorry about it. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, let's move on from this situation because yeah, that was basically all the Sisters of Quiet Mercy storyline.
Yeah.
We're gonna zip through to the next really quickly. We get a really quick Hiram and Veronica moment that I wanted to talk about really quickly a little bit earlier in the episode where he says, like, you kind of were toe-to-toe with me during the parent conference and I was really impressed with you. And he kind of spills some tea and he says, listen, I know that things are not amazing with us right now, but I'm doing this because I want to build a kingdom. He's like, a king needs a kingdom and I want you to be my right hand, like, Chica,
and
when everything goes down,
kind of leaves a legacy behind, right? And like that's all going to be yours, which is everything I still expected. Like knowing what Hiram's doing, I did believe that he's doing it all for her in some weird twisted way because it's his only child, right? Like I get it, but why the f would your daughter want this legacy? Like you're evil.
So true. It's so true.
You know.
And he does like she really doesn't make any sense as it doesn't really make any sense as to why he's really just spilling all the beans in this moment to her. And she still says like, you're freaking weird. Like you're such a crazy person. Get me out of here. So I don't know why he doesn't go even further to be like reassure her and say, don't worry. Like I got this. And all you need to do is trust me. He literally just says like, put your like pearls back on. Like you're coming with me. Like what?
Yeah. He's like, where's your pearls?
So but I will say that we did see kind of a dark side of Veronica last episode when she kind of sideswiped that guy during the casino night.
Yeah.
Do you think that we're going to see an even darker version of Veronica?
I think so. I was just going to say that. Like, I think it's going to get to a point where like, and you even see it last week where like she kind of does side with her dad. She goes, see, like I listened to him and like, look what happened. Okay, but like he made you do something really like messed up. So I think she's gonna constantly have this struggle of like, do I, kind of listen to my dad because he still is my dad and he has like my best interests, but even though he might be evil, I think that's gonna be like her biggest struggle moving forward. And I kind of want to see that. Like I'm down to see like dark Veronica.
Yeah, total. So am I. I think that she needs to get a little bit edgier, and I think that's why, extracting even Archie out of her life, who's this like good energy, this good boy who like does all the good stuff, not having him in her life and switching him out with like someone else who's a little bit edgier, who's willing to do whatever it takes to kind of get her to the next level, like a Reggie. Totally freaking down for it. I'm totally down to see like this next like evolution of this character for sure. So we're getting to the last point, which is Archie needing to leave. He's like, I gotta go. I need to leave. I didn't understand why he needed to go by himself, but it seemed that, after the whole interrogation with Penny, the mom was like, you know what? Like, you need to like cut yourself off your ties with this guy because he's dangerous and Hiram's never gonna stop. But she does mention the fact that like this is more than just Archie. This whole situation, which we find out as the episode goes on, it's more about like Riverdale itself and how there's more at stake, obviously.
Right. And kind of that Hiram wanted them out of the town, right?
Yeah. Totally.
She's like, you did exactly what he wanted you to do. Like you dipped. And so he started making like money moves and you guys weren't around.
For sure.
Yeah.
So
this was a really sad moment.
This was a really sad moment, but it was also like a really cute moment because we get to see Fred and FP come through for their sons, which was really cute because
very cute. Yeah.
I love the fact that they finally caught up with them because I was like, Seriously. Is Fred ever gonna see his damn son? Like, this poor guy has been probably looking for his son left, right, and center. So he finally gets to see him in Toledo because Gladys calls him up. And it was a really sweet moment. I know you want to talk about
it. It was really cute. You're right. Like, seeing them that morning and like they actually came through, I was like, oh my God, finally the dads are like coming through for something. And it was just emotional. It was really cute that like FP and Fred came together. And a part of me was like, Fred, like, now you can take your son back home. Like, everything's gonna be like back to normal. But then I realized soon that Archie was still gonna leave.
Yeah, which was so random. Anyway, we'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to that
because I wanted to talk about like FP and his situation
and his baby mama
and Jelly Belly and like the fact that Jellybean basically like told him to fuck off.
Yeah,
which was pretty funny. The major question that I have for everybody on the chat really quickly, and I'm gonna wait for this because I need to know, Phallus versus Flatus?
Ew, that's a weird name.
They're both really weird when you really think about it. But what did you guys think about Gladys and FP together in this situation?
You mean like FP and the baby mama?
Yeah, and Gladys.
No, I love them together. They were so cute. She was really cute towards him, like the way she hugged him and like she gave him like 2 kisses. Like, it was so cute. Definitely history there. I feel like they're definitely gonna like jump into that at some point, and like Alice better watch the F out.
Yeah, it's true. At the same time, like looking at Alice season 3 versus like Gladys season 3, I'm totally into Gladys.
Oh no, you're right. Totally. Like, Alice is just like, she's just so waste right now, whereas Gladys is like so effing cute.
Yeah.
So I'm excited, but I don't know.
I don't know. Some people are saying Flatus they're down for Flatus. So I'm gonna put that right down there real quick.
It's so hard to gauge like how a character is gonna come in and how people are gonna like kind of, receive them.
It's true.
Right? But like, so far, like, everything's good with Gladys.
Yeah, I think they did a really good job with her introduction, and I'm okay with her. I'm sure she has flaws that we're gonna see as the season goes on if she still sticks around. But I was totally down for her as like this absentee mom who's kind of just like making amends here and there. And you can tell that obviously like her and FP have a really deep history, like with that like triple kiss that she gives him at the very end. Like, I'm into it. Like, it's very cute.
Yeah.
So for sure. The last kind of moment that I wanted to talk about, which
is what wasn't cute was my face last night after this episode.
Because you were nose. In shambles.
Dude, guys, I don't know what happened to me. I have never cried watching Riverdale, but I lost my shit last night. When he has to say bye. Because at first I legit thought like Fred was gonna take him home. Like, everything was good.
Yeah.
And then he's like, Dad, like, I can't, like, I'm leaving. And like, Fred doesn't really stop him, which made it more sad.
Which kind of pissed me off because he was like, because Fred even said he like painted this amazing picture. He was like, what if I came with you and like we can just live off the land and like go to a cottage? And I was like, do it.
Do
like,
that.
It sounds so cute. Yeah. And why can't you do it? What's the reason why? Like, it didn't make any sense as to why they couldn't just run away together, why he couldn't protect his son. Like, it's not like Fred's out here doing some job. Like, he's so
yeah, no, I totally agree.
Like, I guess he has like a construction company, but like, who fucking cares? Your son is on the run. Like,
yeah,
go and protect your son.
Where is his mother? Like, what the F? Like, it was just, but in that moment, I wasn't thinking of that. I was just like, oh my God, like, Fred, he just knows that like this is the only way, I guess, that his son can like live.
Yeah.
But also, what's Archie gonna do? Like, he has no money.
That's what I mean. He was like, okay, you're on your way. I'm like, you're on your way where? Where are you going? You're literally out into the woods with a dog. Like, what the fuck?
Oh my God, guys. And then he opened the door and like Vegas ran out. I was like, yo, I'm done. I am done. You put a dog into the mix, I'm gonna lose my shit. Like, I was like, no, it was too much. I
cried. It was too much.
It was a lot.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it was a really sad moment. But yeah, he dyes his hair black and he just like walks into the woods, and that's kind of the last time we see Archie this episode. But what do you think is gonna happen to him? Like, we didn't really answer that, but what do you guys think is gonna happen to him?
I mean, I would love for Archie to just peace out for like 5 episodes. We don't see Archie's face.
Yeah.
He kind of, has this really amazing, like, life-changing experience. somewhere. I don't know where.
Somewhere.
And then
where?
Kind of like comes back. Maybe he lives in Chicago for a bit. Like
yeah, someone said that they want him to like go to like see his mom to tell her the tea because she's been so fucking MIA this whole time episode. Worst.
I kind of want him to come back a darker Archie.
Okay.
Like a not so
I know, and I feel like you said this before, and I've said like, how much darker do you need him to get?
He hasn't been dark,
but he was dark last season, and he like almost went insane, and then like he couldn't handle it.
But that was like dumb dark. Do you know what I mean? Like that was like
dumb dark and smart dark,
and then there's smart dark. So like he's just not like smart dark yet.
I don't know what any of that means.
There's different levels to this.
Anyway, I don't know what you guys think about where he's going to be going. People are saying Archie being away from Veronica and Betty is killing the show. They need to take down Hiram already so then he can go back to Riverdale. People are saying, can we give Archie the guts to come in and murder Hiram? Like, damn, people are going in.
Yo, I'm telling you, everyone wants dark Archie.
Shit. Yeah, mostly to kill Hiram.
So like low key, guys, like we saw the trailer for next episode,
right.
So like, and we know that like he goes back to town.
He does go back to town. And just stay tuned for that reaction video. It'll be up later this week. But yeah, it is gonna happen, and I don't know why he like. If that's the case, I don't know why he's leaving right now, like leaving his poor dad like alone. Yeah. This is again going all the way back to the very end of the episode, and it's back with Cheryl, Veronica, and now Kevin with like the ROTC like coming into Hermione's office and kind of strongholding her to stop this message that's going to go out, which I didn't know was going to go out, and I don't know how they knew it was going to go out because I wasn't sure how this all kind of came together by the end of the episode. Do you?
No, not like, really. And like, so my question to you is like, but why?
Yeah, like, for one, WTF Kevin? Like, why was he even a part of the situation? Suddenly he's sober, he has a stupid hat on, and like he didn't do anything this episode. He literally stood in an office, and that was the end of his storyline. Like, I don't understand what was happening in this whole situation. So, Hermione's like, "It is done already. I'm sorry," and then like the sirens start going off. So I don't really know what this. I mean, we do know what happens. Like the whole town gets quarantined. But did you expect this?
No
twist of events?
I don't know what the F is going on, JLAG. What is going on in the show? But why are they quarantining this town? Like, what's that gonna do? I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't know.
But for real though, what is it gonna do?
I don't know. I feel like. You know, one of the things that Veronica said to Hiram, she was like, someone's going to know something outside in the outside world. Like, you can only control, Riverdale because, like, there's no sheriff, which is also hilarious that there's literally no sheriff dealing with any of this. And on top of that, like, your wife is the mayor, but, like, the outside world, like, the rest of the United States, I guess, will see that you guys are being shady. And I think, like, as soon as she says that, he kind of clicks in. He's like, don't worry, I got this. And he gets the whole town to be quarantined.
Because you're right. Like, he does make a point. At one point, he's like, oh, we're just like a small town. They didn't want to send anyone like to check it out anyways.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, he's assuming that like no one gives a shit about Riverdale. So like, no, like they're not gonna really care.
Right.
But I guess maybe he got scared in that moment too.
For sure. So so the whole thing gets quarantined. The sirens are going off. I was so confused as to what was happening. I was like, is there a bomb going off? I'm not really sure. But yeah, the entire town is quarantined, which means no one can leave and no one can enter. And that means that Jughead and FP get stuck on the outside. I don't know for how long and for why. Like,
yeah.
Like it was very much a mid-season finale moment where they were like, no one gets to get in. Like, obviously next episode, like everyone's gonna get back together. It's just like, why is this happening?
I'm sure what's gonna happen is like they're gonna go back to the mom.
Oh, right. Maybe? Yeah.
Because she's gonna be in it, right? Like
she's gonna come back through the for next episode.
Yeah, like even Sierra's like, I think FP and Jughead are gonna go back to Gladys and find another way into Riverdale. Yeah, that makes sense.
Because I'm like, why else would
they'll have like a sneaky way of getting in or something?
For sure. So then it cuts to our final moment with the Gargoyle King and our man Hiram.
Yeah.
So what did you think of this whole situation?
Okay, I want to break down this scene with you because when I watched it the second time, I got like a whole nother meaning from it.
Okay, so I'll say what I thought the very first time when I watched it. When I first watched it, I saw him. He's drinking his little cold pop in like the study or whatever, and then he kind of raises his glass and cheerses this thing that's like standing in front of him, the Gargoyle King. But the first time I watched it, I thought that he was just staring at like a costume that was kind of standing in front of him. So I was like, okay, does that mean that he's just staring at like a costume in front of him and he's the Gargoyle King and he's just sitting in there? Or does that mean that there is actually a Gargoyle King and he's being controlled by him as well?
Yeah.
What do you think?
So yeah, the first time I'm just like, oh, like he's just like, ha ha ha, like I'm winning. But then the second time I'm like, no, like I feel like he's seeing the G&G King.
Yeah. Everyone's like, he drunk. He's
for sure. I'm like, and then I'm like, no, he's totally. What if he's high? What if he's seeing the G&G King too?
Right.
Because like we do know in the flashback, like he was lit on it. So like
he was like the only one lit on it. Yeah,
he was like addicted.
Yeah,
so
he was like freaking
back into it.
Yeah, I would believe it. I guess I can see that.
Totally.
So are we ruling him out as the Gargoyle?
Which makes me believe more that Hermione is up to something.
Oh, so we think
Mommy's hiding something.
Mommy is the Gargoyle King. What do you guys think in the comments? Tell us real quick because we need to move on. But I definitely think that she might have something to do with it. They're obviously in cahoots with each other because especially in the beginning of the episode, she does kind of allude to the fact that there is some sort of plan that he's led her in on. But I don't know if that has to do with the Gargoyle King or her doing something about the Gargoyle King. I have no clue at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a really interesting episode. What do you expect to happen next? I mean, we know what's going to happen next episode kind of from the promo, but what do you want to
question for you? Do you want this G&G story to go to the end of the season, or do you want an answer by like next episode-ish?
You know, it's really funny that you say that, because I think even at the end of this episode, when I saw him standing in front of the Gargoyle, when I saw Hiram in front of the Gargoyle King, I was like, holy shit, they are just confirming the fact that he's the Gargoyle King at the end of this episode. And then I kind of read into it twice and I was like, okay, maybe it isn't him. Maybe he's just tripping out and he's being ruled by the Gargoyle King, just like we're talking about right now. So for that moment that I thought that it was confirming that he was the Gargoyle King, I was like, oh, this is different. Like, they've never revealed the villain like in the beginning of the season this early on. And I was kind of down for it when I was thinking about it. I was like, oh, okay. Like, now it's more going to be about how they're all going to deal with him. It's not about the mystery of it all. It's more just like how they're going to handle this situation. And I think I was okay with that, because I don't think that who could it freaking be? Who could be controlling Hiram Dam Lodge? You know what I mean? Like, is it Jesus Christ himself? Like,
it's just his wife.
I don't get it, but like, she seems so powerless that like her like turning around and taking that mask off, being like, I'm the Gargoyle King, I wear like twigs all the time. Like, why? Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Or somehow Penelope and Claudius are controlling Hiram. Meanwhile, Hiram's thinking that he's controlling everyone. I
can take that. I can take the fact that they think that they're manipulating each other.
And like, I bet you Penelope has some like next level like antidote for like the poison or like the thing, fizzle rocks, you know?
Maybe I'd be into that. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Nunu asked in the comments who he was talking to on the phone. I think he was talking to the governor.
The governor that shut down the town. Yeah,
closed down the entire town.
Yeah,
that's apparently what happens. Like, clearly.
Yeah.
Let's move into our recap roundups, y'all.
Let's do it. And guys, don't forget to also add in your recap roundups as we're going through ours, so that we can include yours in our comments.
Yeah.
Recap roundups.
Best moment.
So what was your best moment, Ger?
My best moment is gonna be, it's very rare that I get this emotional while watching Riverdale. So I think I'm gonna give it to Fred and FP and Archie, and kind of just like all the guys, the dads showing up for their boys, and then like the FP, the Fred and Archie scene at the end with like Vegas and stuff like that. It was really heart-wrenching. I was like, no, what's wrong with me?
I gave the moment to our girl Betty and the Gargoyle Queen moment, where she kind of just comes in with her like flappity wings and tries to save all the girls and sisters of Cry Mercy. It's not that I thought it was like the best moment of the entire episode, but I thought it was a cool moment. I like to see how Betty kind of turns a situation around. Like last episode, she was kind of in a shitty situation and she literally turned around in one episode. She became best friends with Ethel again. Like everybody's cured. Like it just goes to show like how strong of a character she is. And you forget that a lot because so much is happening in Riverdale. But this moment reminded me again, like, yeah, she's fucking cool. I love Betty. I really love Betty Cooper.
So JLAG, Fail Will is in the group with us right now. I think he wants to share his roundups.
Oh yeah, okay.
Do you see it?
What? Hello? Is he?
Oh,
yeah, he is.
Hey guys, how's it going?
How's it
Good, how are you?
going?
Good. So sorry for the delay, everyone. My apologies. Last day of college and
There it goes. Yeah,
You know how it is. School.
but it's done. So congrats.
it's over.
That's
Thank you so
exciting.
much. But yeah, roundup. We're doing the MVP right now.
Yeah, we're doing the best
best
moment.
best
So
moment.
first one.
Best moment. Okay, my first best moment of this episode was probably when Jellybean just completely like disrespected her dad.
Yeah.
Can I get a hug? And then she says, "Can I get a dad?"
Yeah. It
Dad.
was so good.
That was tight.
So good.
On a million. I loved it. That was the best.
I know, that was amazing.
I kind of loved her character too. She was pretty cool.
Yeah,
I
they
did.
gave
I
her
did.
like a different vibe to her, and like she was like rambunctious, but she also was really caring when it came to her brother. So I loved how they introduced her at first.
For sure.
Dad Foxy is saying that her best moment was Cheryl and Veronica.
Oh yeah,
Ooh.
It was a good moment.
it was.
Those two together.
Their duo is like
For
totally on
sure.
fire. I loved it. And we got one yesterday during our tweet up from Postmaster Radio, and he said his best moment was the Archie and Fred talk at the very end too. So you got another one, girl. NB, somebody else be crying during this episode with you.
Aww.
WTF moment.
So yeah, what was your WTF moment?
Oof. You know what? That was a really good one as well. Mine had to be the seizures. The episode opened up and they were
Yeah.
just dropping like flies. I was like,
Yeah.
what are we doing here? I was thinking to myself, I'm like, there's no way this is like an infectious thing. And then by the end of the episode, they're quarantined the whole city.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like that's the thing, like we never really go back to that. We never really answer that question. So even going through it today, like tonight, I was like, yeah, but we still haven't solved the reason why these girls are randomly having seizures. Like that's a pretty serious situation. So yeah.
I think someone in the comments was like Archie needs therapy. I'm like, I think everyone in the show needs therapy. Like every single kid, student, parent
Yeah.
needs to get checked up.
Yeah, they're all hooked up on fizzle rocks and stuff. Like, y'all need to check yourself out a little bit.
Yeah.
Like this ain't Flint. You guys got to clean that water up real quick.
Yeah. Maybe this quarantine idea is actually pretty smart. So.
Yeah. MB, what was your WTF moment?
My WTF moment I think was like Ethel just kind of magically like being healed
Being
after she
figured out, yeah.
effing lost her mind. I think it just happened too fast, and then like I think even just like leading into like the rest of the girls being fooled by Ethel and Betty
Totally.
dressed up in like a mop. So I was just like, okay, it's like fine.
You're like, all right, let's move with that. My WTF moment is gonna be going to Fred leaving Archie, because I thought that while it was a cute moment, I was very confused and frustrated as to why Fred would have even let that happen. Like, I feel like you always have a choice. Like, he's your son and he's 16 years old. There was no reason for them to write it that way, for him to be like, oh, like, I guess you have to go by yourself into the wilderness with a dog. Like, what is this? Like, this
Yeah,
is the
no, it's true.
21st century. Like, I don't know any situation that this would ever happen in. So I was just kind of like, definitely WTF for me.
Yeah.
It's like Archie doesn't have a phone.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Dad Foxy and Tina both are like WTF, like Penelope's questioning with the maple syrup
True.
is their moment.
That was such a WTF moment.
Yeah.
Very sticky. Very sticky.
Yeah. Very
Sticky
sticky
situations.
100%. And Postmaster said that the ending with Jughead and FP and the fact that they got locked out was a pretty crazy WTF moment too, because like, what's gonna happen? But yeah, I don't really know what's gonna happen either. It's gonna be a weird way to like shift around that, but I guess they're just gonna go back to Toledo. Like, it just makes sense.
Yeah, for sure.
MVP.
What was your guys' MVP, Farewell?
Mine's got to go to that secret relationship that they're backdooring. Maybe not. Veggie.
Oh, yeah.
You know what? The episode before, I had the feeling that they were sort of, backdooring, but I didn't want to assume that like there was anything because they didn't give too much evidence. But this episode, I definitely felt the vibes between the two of them.
100.
He's being a very supportive friend. I don't know if he was like he wants to get with each other, but I love the fact that he was there and talking with her and being in person.
I love that that's your MVP because that's my MVP as well. Ooh, I put Reggie for being the best non-boyfriend ever because I think he's acting so sweet right now. Mm-hmm. He's not really getting anything out of it except for like hanging out with her and like chatting with her. Yeah. He's being so cute and he's being like smart about it too. Whereas like I feel like if that was Archie, he would just go and like ruin everything in the process.
Which makes me worry that like, are they gonna make Reggie stupid again like in a couple of seasons? You know what I mean? Like, because I feel like he's having a really cool glow up, and I feel like they're really like paying a lot of attention to his character. So for him to turn around and do something stupid, that's the only reason why he would break up with Veronica, because essentially they're solid right now, right? Like they're pretty good as a parent.
Reggie and Veronica.
Like Reggie and Veronica. So like if it becomes a thing by the next episode, then like why would you want to break that up? Like I guess unless she has like
she'll probably like go back to Archie or something. Sure. But apparently I read this article with RAS and he said that everyone that's waiting on Veggie, like they better wait longer because it's not gonna happen in time. I was like, what? Like they're literally kissing next episode. What are you talking about?
Damn. Well, unless she rejects him, she's probably like, it's too soon.
Yeah, for sure.
Can't do it. My MVP is gonna go to Jellybean because I thought she was pretty badass this episode. And for introduction of a character, I thought she was really cool. Yeah. We got Postmaster Radio saying that Betty was his MVP. She was pretty cool. She was one of mine as well. I really liked her in this episode.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Tina N says the same thing. Betty, she the girl.
Betty girl.
LVP. Who's your LVP? Farewell.
I think mine's gotta go to Hermione. I think this episode. Okay. I feel like her character, they're sort of, before she was like in the dark, she doesn't know what's going on, but now they're sort of backdooring. I feel like she has more of a play into this, and I don't know. I wanted to see a little bit more out of her involvement, but I think that's something that we might see later down the line when these big events that we've been revealed to are gonna be more prominent, I guess, in the story. Right.
How about you, MB?
My LVP is gonna be Alice Cooper.
It's like all the mommies are going
down. The moms, especially Alice. I feel like she's just been so effing like up in the air.
Yeah, it's true. This episode specifically, she was very much like completely MIA, like mentally checked out. So I don't know. Like
in all fairness, her husband became like a killer.
Yeah.
So I guess that kind of sends you off the like the ledge. So like I mean you can't really blame her, but like also she's just a waste character right now.
Yeah. At that point, like just get her out. Like you know what I mean? Like don't even have her on the show right now. She just needs to like be away. Yeah. You know? I could take that. My LVP is going to Fred, so the dad, just because solely because he let him go. I thought it was a really cute moment, but like I said, I just didn't really resonate with me why a father would ever let his son just leave, like watch his son go into the darkness. Like I would never. Like that doesn't make any sense to me. Everybody saying in the chat,
who's going in on Archie? Oh my god,
Archie's a dumbass.
The entire timeline of Archie this season.
Sammy H says that RAS for
yes. Thank you, Sammy. Thank you. He's not. Yes, I don't like.
Yeah, we got a few. Hiram. Someone said Hiram, which is an obvious LVP, I think. Yeah, I think that like I couldn't say it just because like it's Hiram. Like he's obviously always going to be the LVP. Yeah. Hermione's fake ass. There's a lot of shade.
Tanya agreed with you for it to be Fred.
Yeah. See, I ain't lying over here. And also Postmaster Radio Online said that his LVP was Alice because she felt extra.
Yeah, I feel like with her storyline specifically, they gotta get her involved a little bit more. Like she can't just keep being out for lunch this often. It doesn't fall in line with who she's been, I think, previously, like you were talking about earlier.
Agreed 100%.
The best line.
Okay, and what was your best line?
Oh, it's got to be Jellybean.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Where's my dad or something along the lines of that. That was so.
She's like, can I get a dad?
Can I get a dad?
And he was just like silent. He's like, true.
Yeah. He's like bad.
What about you?
Mine's gonna go to Veronica just because I'm in the middle of Narcos season 4. When she's like, I've seen enough episodes of Narcos to know the scheme. I'm like, why do you gotta say it like that? But fine.
She's like, so Narcos.
Yeah, she's like, Narcos. And Reggie's like, huh? What show?
Is that on Netflix? Mine goes to Jellybean. The badass that she was like, drop the butter knife, bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was ready to go.
I was totally into it.
Simply Michaela has a good one too. It's I'm cuckoo bananas for you, TT.
Oh my god, yes.
That was so cute.
I kind of laughed at that one too. I was like, cuckoo bananas, guys, really? Is that what you're gonna say right now? Can I get a dad? Comes up again once another time.
Yeah.
Postmaster Radio said that when Veronica says, I mean, they're always up to something, her parents, because that's facts.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah. That is the episode. I'm just reading Nunu's comment. She's like, all of a sudden you guys speak Spanish, Veronica. Mid-sentence. She takes
I
it
wonder
up from
if
her
they tell her. Like, I wonder if like when Cammie's like going through her line and she's like Narcos and they're like, no, say it like you would say it really.
Like, how would Veronica really say it? Like,
yeah.
It's like Narcos.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I feel like with her lines and just like the writing this season, like they've been like playing it up to be extra like cheesy and like.
Oh yeah,
wordy.
for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
They're like, you want to take the Fizzle Rock Pops toots, like.
Yeah.
So much.
So funny. Okay, so let's get into our announcements. Before I get into this announcement, which is basically Riverdale is returning a month from now. So we're going to have to sit tight, you guys, to see what happens next. But the promo is out, so you guys should check it out. But it's not coming back until January 16th. But before that happens, I want to play a clip that just came in while we were doing the podcast. I'm going to play it because he gave me permission, but I hope you guys can hear this.
I love Hiram. Hiram rules Riverdale. That's right. Hiram rules Riverdale. Free Archie. Run, Archie, run.
Did you guys hear that?
Yeah.
So that was from Mark Consuelos. He sent us a message on Instagram.
Damn, Mark coming through.
And he wanted me to play it. He was like, you guys can play that. And it's basically him saying that Hiram is the best. So
shout out to Mark Consuelos for always having our back. So
yeah, thanks, Mark. Really appreciate it. Yeah, so that's our first announcement. Our second announcement was that. And our next announcement is we are on Patreon now, guys. So we want to thank some of the Patreons that just started. We just opened it up last week, but we already have some amazing supporters. So our Lit Rewinders, we got Tina Ann, we got Namas and Serena. And then we have a Mommy Rewinder, which is our top tier, Becca Sarah, who came through for us as well. Yeah. So thank you guys so much. And if any of you guys who are online right now want to check out our Patreon, it is patreon.com/recap_rewind. It's been really exciting so far. I mean, we don't really.
And if you guys don't really know what it is, we are offering exclusive content for you guys on there. So things that you won't be seeing on our regular YouTube channel or Instagram account, you're going to have access to on the Patreon account. So you guys should check it out.
Just check it out.
Just check it out.
Show some support. Why not? Finally, while you guys are waiting for Riverdale to come back, don't forget that we have a contest giveaway that started a couple weeks back now. All you need to do to enter is to answer who was N-BEA'S MVP for Riverdale's season 3 episode 1 premiere. So if you need to find out what it is, you gotta like skirt all the way back to the beginning of the season and see if you guys can find that little sound clip. And all you need to do is DM us, send us a message, and give us your guess. Once you guys do, you will be entered into a raffle. The winner will be announced the day before we come, or the day we come back. Yeah. For Riverdale, so the 16th it'll be announced, but the contest closes on January 15th.
Right.
And that's it, guys.
That's it.
Thanks so much, Farewell, for joining us.
Somewhat late. Thanks so much for having me again.
We're glad you were able to finally come through. No, we really appreciate you coming through anyway. So yeah, check out, if you guys haven't checked out his stuff, please check it out. Farewell, did you want to drop a few of
do the plug?
Well, if you made me, okay. Yeah, definitely guys can check out Farewell 34. I mean, on YouTube, I do Riverdale reaction videos. I haven't posted my reaction to this week's episode, but it was a spicy one, so you guys should definitely check it out when it drops tonight or tomorrow.
Spicy. Ooh.
Interesting. Yeah, he's great, guys, so make sure you guys check him out. And that's us, guys. Thanks so much for staying tuned. I know we're way over time, but thanks for sticking around. We really appreciate it. We're gonna miss you guys over the break, but I hope you guys enjoyed our little chat. And that's it.
That's it, guys. Bye.